Hey, good morning. Why don't you come in here and have a look at what I've done in the shed. That's right, it's looking a little bit blue on the green in here. That's because I built a new wall. Temporary wall. This is my tarpaulin to protect me from the weather, because now I'm in the process of doing the stud work to build a new wall across this. We'll have a cavity in the middle here in order to put the double doors in. And what I'm doing is I'm going to drop a plate, by plate, technical term, for a long plank of wood. And so I'm going all the way along, and then I'm going to anchor it down into the ground, and I'll show you a few tricks of what we're doing to anchor it into the area where the concrete was not poured. I might just pause my own video because my neighbours, I think they're in their laundry chipping out the tiles. Alrighty, a little bit more quiet now. What I wanted to show you is a problem that I was fixing with the back wall. Initially, the wood that I was using, that we had measured up, was planned for a slightly lower roof, and in the end I made this slight gabled appearance. Now initially I was thinking that would be fine because it's actually pegged, attached to this beam top and bottom that goes along, but the back wall of the shed kind of flexed, so it went in and out. And that would be a problem as soon as I chip rocked over. If someone sort of leant up against this wall or pushed on this wall, they're going to push that out, and then of course we end up getting some cracking along the top. So I just created these little extensions here, just attached on one side, just a couple of screws on that side, up to the top. I'd add a little bit of a spacer here at the top. This top one here attaches to the diagonal that goes down, and so the diagonal creates that space that we needed to accommodate with the extra little block. There we go. What we've done is we created quite a rigid structure now with all of those pieces of timber under tension along the back wall. So I'm going to use one of the longer pieces. I was just using this just to be able to mark out what I wanted to do. So the plate goes along the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to attach that in a number of different ways, and I'm about to show you how we're going to do that. The first thing we've got to do as well is the concrete is not level on either side, so we're going to just take off this front edge of concrete here, just with an angle grinder and a diamond blade. And then we have to do something different along this edge here where there is no concrete, and that's the part I'm about to show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up with this old plate here that used to have the doors attached to it, and you can see that the concrete extended out as a lip. We got the opposite problem on this side. You can see that there's not much for this piece of wood to sit on, and that's because it didn't really need anything when those two doors were in, because this was the recess door. So we need this 2x4 here to have support. Grab one of these uprights, just push that back, and we're going to attach it with some screws or dyno bolts, haven't decided yet, to the edge. We'll cut that off level here, and then this here will then sit on top, flush to the ground of course, and then we'll be able to put a screw down through the top plate here and fasten it to this edge bit. Now the other thing to note is that it's going to be sitting on the ground here, so therefore it has some vertical support as well. For instance, if we put it at that end, then we've got a nice big sweet spot to be able to attach to, but then we're only taking the weight on these dyno bolts here. So putting it down here like this sits here on this removable piece of ground and supports the top plate there. And then just the final thing to note, what we're planning to do is after we've cut out the concrete on the other side along that edge there, I'm just going to come back in with some thicker concrete, and around the edge of these things here, just fill in this here, just spade it in like a render, and then I'll have a flush piece of concrete going along up against the wood. That's not a big issue. It's just going to provide a little bit of extra support underneath this beam, and also it means that no bugs or anything like that is going to come up underneath and through in behind. G'day folks, another day. It's a bit sunnier today, and we've just done a bit of cutting with the diamond saw. Got a helper today. That's Mr. Hull Senior. And so we've been chiseling and cutting on the diamond saw, and our results along the front. And we're about to put in the front plate, as we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. We've got these uprights that we're going to cut to length. They're going to sit underneath and give us a distance. We've decided this week that we're going to put the doors centrally, so we're going to have a 2 meter opening across the front, and then they should be able to open fully without being a hazard to the chip rock ceiling. Cool. That's an update. Wait. Alrighty, so at the front, we've got to cut out the steel, as we have with all the rest of them. And the thing that I want to make sure, because this is the first time that we're removing one whole end, and so therefore the tension will be released across the whole front of the shed. So to keep it tight, I've just put this one vertical in until we get the proper verticals, which is fixed up the top and the bottom, and so that will support the weight of it. That means that it can't come down, so that in that it can't come down, it can't go sideways.